Okay, we are back. If I could have a motion, please. We are out of executive session for the readmission.
I'd make a motion that the student under consideration be readmitted to school and that the superintendent provide the parents with a written summary of the board's findings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? It is unanimous. The student is readmitted. Okay, Sandy, do you need a 5-minute break?
Couple minutes here.
Okay, I know we just came back, but we've got to take a 5-minute break.
Great.
Okay, everybody, we are back from recess. Next on our agenda is the Superintendent, Sandy Prince, and a member of the strategic plan, Mr. Mike Duffy, will present an overview of us. For us, sorry.
Thank you, Marge. It's great to be here tonight. As you know, Mike and I are going to share the PowerPoint. He's going to actually kick it off, but I just want to say a couple things. That we're in the midst of a planning committee with our current strategic plan. The plan that we've been working from is actually, it's been 5 years, and it's time to develop a new strategic plan. So what we're trying to do is get some data from the public, and that information will inform the strategic planning committee on next steps on developing a plan. We'll talk more about that because I don't want to repeat anything that will be on the slide. But pretty much what you see tonight is what we're sharing with the selectmen up in Raymond, town council. Mike's going to the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow. This PowerPoint will be used with staff, central office staff, pretty much anybody that we can approach. We want to make sure they have an understanding of the planning process. So what you see tonight is what's going to happen within the communities. Okay, Mike.
Most of these facts and figures you probably already know about, but it's probably to let the public at large know where we're coming from and why we need the strategic plan. RSU 14 is the 8th largest school district in Maine. We have an enrollment of about 3,300 kids, grades K through 12. Wyndham High School is the 7th largest school in the state with a total enrollment of just over 1,000 kids. Annual expenditure, as you know, is about $42 million. And the average per pupil expenditure is about $10,000 a student, which is below the state average compared to the top enrolling school districts. Some things that people might not know, that RSU 14 employs over 750 people, including teachers, counselors, nurses, technicians, custodian, food service workers, and a number that probably hasn't been thrown around in a while is the transportation, from our transportation department, logs approximately 700,000 miles a year transporting students to and from home, field trips, sporting events, and that type of thing. We have 7 school buildings: the Wyndham High School, Wyndham Middle School, Jordan Small Middle School, Field Allen School, Manchester School, Raymond Elementary, and Wyndham Primary School. And we have an award-winning adult educational program, as well as the alternative educational program housed at the Real School on Mackworth Island in Falmouth.
Thank you, Mike. The Wyndham Raymond School District is conducting a planning process to continue moving forward toward our mission of success for all. Our mission is, the mission of the Wyndham Raymond School District is to ensure success for all learners. Our vision, and this kind of is a summary of the vision, every student in our Wyndham Raymond School will actively be engaged in a safe learning environment, be highly effective, qualified, and passionate staff, in authentic, individualized, and personal relevant learning, in communicating why their learning is important, and articulating their own progress as they reach ambitious, individualized goals. and learning through collaborative, technology-rich experiences no longer defined by traditional boundaries. Every student leaves our schools as a responsible and involved citizen, a clear and effective communicator, a creative and practical problem solver, an integrative and informed thinker, and a self-directed and lifelong learner. With our current strategic plan, Goal 1 is to strive to engage students in relevant learning each and every day. And there's some samples up there of what that actually means. Just like the first one, it's creative alternative pathways and opportunities for learning for students, such as Apex Virtual High School, Odyssey, and the Real School. Created positive and behavioral interventions and supports in our schools, and we provide students with voice and choice in their learning. Goal 2 is to attract, hire, and retain the highest quality staff members to support our vision. We trained all staff in student-centered learning, set up structures in school to promote staff professional development for their own personal and professional growth, and provide new staff with a year-long induction program. The last goal with the current strategic plan, we strive to implement a technology-rich environment to promote creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. We've acquired technology and staff support to enhance student and staff experiences in and outside of the classroom. One-to-one technology grades 3 through 12.
Now our technology savvy people will try to start a video. So,
Click on that.
I mean, I gotta follow Christine's instructions
Okay.
here.
All right.
Click on that. Click on this. My fingers and the mouse don't really work. Go ahead, smoke. No.
Is there a dance that goes with that
Yeah.
song?
That could be. Oh, here it comes. Wait a minute. Be right with you. Hang on.
Doing well, Mike.
Thank you very much. Hang on. Here we go.
Okay.
We're off and running.
There's your trash.
See if I can close it down any quicker than I started it here.
I guess not, huh?
Look at that.
Very good,
Oh,
Mike.
my goodness. What we want to do now is hear from you, being the school committee and the public in Wyndham and Raymond. It's time to check in and see how our progress is on our existing strategic plan and to update it. We need your input. And I really can't read that. So we're having meetings to develop what the strategic plan is. And we gather information from the schools. We have a committee set that have parents and community members and businesses to help us formulate what the community is looking for in education.
And we also have flyers that we're putting around town and posters, having some public meetings to really get people's input and ideas.
The survey is supposed to be up tonight, but we're told right now it's not working for some reason, some technical glitch that we'll make sure gets fixed. But the survey to the public will close on the 9th of October. The team will then collect the results and examine the data. The survey results will help the team revise the current strategic plan, and the new one will help guide the school staff and the board in preparations for the next 5 years. Survey can be found on a number of different ways. One is we have a QR code on all the brochures and on the website that you can supposedly just click on it, it will come to the survey. You can go to our website of www.rsu14.org and click on the Take the Survey key, and the survey will be there. Or we have paper copies at the Raymond Town Hall, the Raymond Public Library, Wyndham Town Hall, and the Wyndham Public Library. You can leave the surveys there, and we'll pick them up on the 10th of October. And thank you all for your time. Thank you to the community, the schools, in developing our plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
If
So
we
do
only
you
do
have, when did you start this survey? When did it open up to the public? When did it,
the 24th of September.
do you have any,
August.
no, can't be.
August.
August, I'm sorry, 24th of August, yes.
Okay.
No, we don't have any data. It's a Zoomerang survey,
Oh, all right.
so it'll be compiled. Most of the answers will be compiled, and then the narratives we'll have to go over and put into themes.
Great.
So, yeah, just so you all know, I was testing it. The link, like from the email that was sent out through listserv, the link that's on there, which I'm assuming is the same as the webpage, that link works.
Mhm.
It's the QR code
Okay,
that says the survey's closed,
Okay,
so
good.
it may just be
Okay.
a.
It's going to SurveyMonkey, not Zoomerang.
Yeah, SurveyMonkey was the one that I.
yeah, SurveyMonkey. Did I say Zoomerang?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's not small enough.
We'll check that out tomorrow.
yep, so that's.
Thank you.
It's just the code that's on.
I don't know.
And we'll continue to keep you informed. You know, this will be one of the many presentations that we'll be back to you on, and by the end of the year, we'll have a new strategic plan.
Yeah. Did that go in the paper too? I can't remember.
There was an article in the Wyndham Eagle last week.
I think it was last week. And also a copy of the flyer will be in the Eagle News that they're gonna be putting out, I think, in another week or two.
this one here?
Yeah.
They'll go home with parents in the elementary levels in their weekly backpack program.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have appointments. If I could have a motion, please.
I vote to approve the following appointments for the 2015-16 school year. Denise Goulet, math teacher, Wyndham High School.
Second.
I have First and second, is there any comments? There's no public comments from the board? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? And again, this is a replacement. Next on the agenda is the gift acceptance, and this is on the sailboat for the Real School. At our last meeting, we had Martin Mackey before us to give us more information on it. So I think we're pretty much set with that. So if I could have a motion on the gift acceptance, please.
I move to accept the gift of a 1977 Tartan 30-foot sailboat from Edwin Chester for educational purposes, 20A MRSA 4005 and 1256. Do you want to hear yours?
Yeah.
This gift is for legitimate use in the educational programming of the Real School located on Mackworth Island. The value of the boat is over $2,500.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Does anybody need any further clarifications? I think we've discussed this a bit. Okay, all those in favor? It is unanimous.
No, it's not.
What?
I didn't vote. I'm
Oh.
abstaining.
I guess I didn't see your, I'm sorry.
You didn't see my hand?
Are you abstaining?
Yes.
Okay. So there were 5 in favor, none opposed, and 1 abstention. Okay, committee reports. I don't think the finance committee has met.
Nope.
Since our last
We
meeting.
before the next meeting.
Okay, I don't think our facilities has since
I
our
do have an
last
update,
meeting.
though.
You do? Good,
Mhm.
thank you.
Bill Hanson at our last meeting updated us on the summer work that was done throughout the campus. But there are 2 items that I wanted to, and he also, just to back up, mentioned the continued efforts regarding, what is it, J.R. Andrews?
Yep.
J.R. Andrews, with the collapsed roof, and that's ongoing. But I wanted to mention tonight for the board, that was not mentioned since last year, that the Facilities Committee is still studying the middle school situation, both in Wyndham and in Raymond. And just as a brief update, there was a committee of constituents and various other people in 2013-14, where we spent a great deal of time as a committee discussing alternatives, options for Wyndham Middle School and Raymond Middle School. Our buildings are aging, and we're kind of at a crossroads. So that was a major discussion that year, and then in the fall of 2014, that committee was disbanded, and last year, as you all recall, we really did not focus on the needs of our middle schools, because last year we focused on cost sharing, which going forward has a huge impact on any decisions we make regarding the middle schools. So last year we kind of took a bye, and now we've renewed our efforts, and we did hold a meeting over the summer, and you've all gotten the minutes, where we've renewed discussions about our needs for the middle schools. We have not presented to the board yet, and we need to schedule a presentation to let you know where we are in this process and what our recommendations might be. So I wanted just to assure the public, number one, that this is not off our radar screen, and then also to mention to the board that we need to have a discussion about direction and our plans. The committee itself is going to do some back planning work. Our next meeting is in October for timelines for various things. So hopefully when we do have a presentation for you all, we'll have more specific information. The other thing that I wanted to just briefly mention to you is that the town of Wyndham specifically is looking at the Public Works building and the need. I'm not that familiar with the needs, but that they're looking, according to a January 16th, 2015 memo from Tony Plant, who is the town manager. It lists the priorities based on recommendations, and the Public Works is a project that would implicate the RSU because our bus garage is there. And so we discussed this briefly. I think it's still in the preliminary stages. The Facilities Committee did direct Mr. Prince and Mr. Hanson, who is more in the loop than I am regarding this effort, to meet with the town officials to get a little more specific. What is the implication for the RSU? What are our needs? What are the costs? Which we really don't know at this time. So I just wanted to alert you that that is an item that the Facilities Committee is going to be discussing. So those are the two big things for this year. And as always, we'll be looking at the current status of our buildings and repairs. And Mr. Hanson is always so great about keeping us updated about that work. That's that.
Okay. Policy.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
For policy, I just wanted to remind the public, let me get my little notes out here, that at our last meeting, which was August 19th, the board approved a first reading for the public distribution and posting of non-school related materials. What that means is the board has approved moving forward with a revision of that policy. It was a unanimous vote. Essentially, we are restricting anything to go out via listserv other than RSU business. And I'll just leave it at that. If anyone wants more information, there's minutes for this policy under the policy committee. We weren't able to have it videotaped, unfortunately, but we did use Eric's cell phone, so there might be audio posted. I'm not sure if you wanted the full discussion of what transpired that night, so I apologize for that we don't have a video for it. So just as a refresher, the next piece of this process is we go to another second reading. And I don't know, is that scheduled for October?
Mhm.
Some first meeting?
Yes. I think yes, because that's our business one. It has to be the first meeting.
So our first meeting in October will come for a second reading of this policy. And again, what that means is the second policy, if it passes, then the policy becomes official, will be posted on our website, and that will be the policy going forward. The only thing I must say is, and it's very unusual for us, but this policy will not take effect until January 1st. We wanted to allow those folks who had benefited from using our listserv the benefit of time to regroup. There was some discussion about initiatives perhaps being taking place through other sources, and we offered our assistance with listservs and setting those up. In fact, I met with Bob Hickey today, and it's $15 a month to run a listserv, and he'd be happy to assist anyone who needs that help. Just as an update, letters went to both the town manager in Raymond and
Select board.
thank you, both officials in both towns. Word retrieval here is obviously an issue, but have been notified. Soon, in the next week, we hope to send out a letter notifying those folks who have used this service in the past to alert them that the policy will be changing on January 1st. Up until that point, we will still be using our listservs to distribute business as usual. And that's that for that. I just wanted, as we start the new year, I just wanted to alert you to a few things. At the end of the 127th legislative session, as reported by MSMA, there were 12 issues that could implicate policy. And I just want to point out two of them to you that we'll be looking at pretty soon. The first one is the child abuse. I'm not going to give you the letters because it really doesn't mean anything, but it's the child abuse reporting policy. And what has changed in that is just the mechanism by which it's reported. The policy committee did not meet regarding this. I'd gotten the notice and sent it off to Don David and Jake Clockodile, who have reviewed it and have written some new language. So it's essentially protocol. So that will be, that will need to be scheduled, and I'll make sure that happens. The second thing regarding policy is, I don't know if you've heard about the Farmer's Almanac, but they're predicting another doozy this winter. And I bring this up because then that means there will be student days off. And we've had some discussion, I know you've expressed some interest about student days and how we might remediate the days off. And just to clarify, we have to have 180 days of school. 5 of those can be for student workshop days. There must be 175 days of seat time. So that precludes anything other than a makeup day of sorts. So let me get to that. Here it is. And I bring this up because I don't know how this board would want to proceed, but it's LD 129, an act to provide options to schools for making up school days. And the purpose, I'm just going to read it because I can't, is to provide school units with the additional option of adding makeup instructional time during existing school days to give them greater flexibility in determining how to meet the minimum school year's calendar requirements. And these are the options. It has to be approved by the commissioner. You would be able to provide for a 1-hour extension of the school day for up to 25 days in a school year. 5 1-hour extensions could be counted as an additional school day. Extended days could be used only for the purpose of making up school days missed due to weather or other emergency closures. I'm just alerting you that that's out there. I don't know whether this board wants to pursue anything, and we don't have to have that discussion now, perhaps at a later time, but those are some of the options. Again, because I don't know how many snow days we had last year.
6.
6?
To what total days?
So what that means is our school year is extended 6 days. And so it's just food for thought. I just wanted to bring that up for your consideration. And then finally, sorry, I've got a lot of cheat sheets here. I just wanted to update you again about the impact of a proficiency-based diploma as it relates to policy. And it was the passage of LD 1422, which means we're transitioning to a proficiency-based diploma. And as you recall, Christine presented to us and we got an extension, so we are not required to meet all of the requirements that go along with that until 2020, which seems like it's a long way away. But we have 18 related proficiency policies that we're working on right now. The biggest one, of course, is graduation policy. And that one, as was mentioned by Marge, sorry, I'm shuffling. This year, the high school, although we haven't approved and we haven't even discussed the graduation policy, which is now in draft form up to 8 pages. But embedded in that, and we've had a workshop, and Chris has presented to us twice regarding the capstone, which would replace the community service requirement. And although the policy has not been officially passed, there was consensus with this board that we would start with this freshman year class with the capstone. Otherwise, we'd be forever waiting for this till 2020. So I just wanted to let you know that that's happening this year. And I won't read to you. I had the whole list of, well, here they are. I think, for the sake of knowledge, you should understand the depth of work that is involved in this proficiency-based diploma business. So first you have graduation. I'm not going to give you the letters. You have a graduation policy, you have a multiple pathways policy, academic recognition, transcripts, grading and reporting, dual enrollment, early college, assessment of student learning, promotion, retention, acceleration, demonstration of learning, exhibition, capstone, student achievement, personal learning plans, academic interventions, athletic eligibility, and co-curricular activities, which, by the way, will be a sticky wicket with all of this. Attendance, I have that one. Basic instruction, I mean, I don't know, my eyes are glazing over. Anyway, there are 18 of them. So, aside from that work, and the two that I just mentioned, there are a few other things that always come down the pike, and with the new police chief, we had put on hold a couple of policies that revolve around relations with the police staff, and it's always good, and I think we have fostered good relations so far with the new police chief, but it will be good for the policy committee to sit down and review the policies that we have on the books with them and see how we can make it even better. So with that, I think I'm done.
Thank you. All righty. Now, I don't think, some of our committees haven't, I don't think have met. The vocational schools, there hasn't been one yet. I don't think adult ed has had, I don't think they've had one. Mr. Prince, would you like
Yes.
to let us know what's going on? with
Sure.
you?
Opening of school was Monday with staff, and we had a nice breakfast, and the entire staff was in the auditorium at the high school. It's an opportunity, one time a year, that we all get together, and I'm blessed to be able to take time and talk about our strategic plan and how we're transitioning into a student-centered proficiency model. And I spent some time talking about that, really trying to celebrate the good work that took place last year and where we're going, so that people are focused on the work for this year as well. So that was a nice time, Monday, and then students arrived Tuesday, and every year I think the campus is particularly busy. You know, the traffic flow is a little slow the first couple of weeks of school, but overall we had a great opening. You know, it's just, I was walking up at the Raymond schools today, and everybody looks so healthy. You know, they've been outside all summer. The schools are so clean, the buses are clean, everything is just sparkling. And it's just a great time of year, you know. It's really a wonderful time to get back into the groove, and so it's been a good week. Nothing bad's happened, and we're just really ready to go and have a great year. I did receive a letter from the John T. Gorman Foundation, and their purpose is to advance ideas, promote opportunities, and improve lives in Maine. And we received a $15,000 grant to use for the backpack program, and that will happen through this year. And Marge, were you involved in applying for that, or involved with that?
Samantha
Sam was
applied.
okay.
We got the information
So,
from somewhere.
it's just great to have that money for the backpack program, and I thought I'd pass that along. We have over 50 new employees this year, so our HR department has been really busy trying to get all the paperwork done and orient those people to their jobs. I know the administrators say this every year, but I really heard it a lot this year, that we really get some fabulous new staff members, and so I'm just really pleased to hear that. Next week, I'll be meeting with DOE Susan Reed. She's sort of the consultant for the preschool programs, and we're going to start that conversation to see if we could have a preschool program up at the Raymond schools. Probably be the RES school, I think, has the most space. So I'll keep you informed with that.
Is that different than Head Start?
I'm sorry,
It's
that's-
associated
yeah.
with it.
It is Head Start.
It is Head Start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if we do decide to move ahead in this direction, I think we have to put a letter together to the commissioner 9 months before the program begins. So Jerry's been working with me on that, and we hope to have a board workshop pretty quick. Next week's meeting is really to outline what a board workshop would be. So I think that's it.
What about AmeriCorps?
The AmeriCorps?
Yeah, the grant you want.
Yep. That was $300,000 that we received for this year. And it's focused on STEM, science and technology and math. And Sarah Anderson has taken that over. She's one of the real school teachers. And we're trying to expand that out to some of the schools in Wyndham and Raymond. So that's exciting. It's great money. It's a really important topic. And I know Sarah will do a really nice job with that. So, thank you.
And just for clarification on that, the RES, it's, Jordan Small does have, we all know, Jordan Small does have more room in it than RES, but the facility at RES is actually in line with the age of the students that would be coming in.
Oh, they have a playground, too.
So it wouldn't have an impact, it wouldn't have the financial impact of having to put in tiny little bathrooms and stuff. Well, I know it's early, Sierra, and I'm not sure if you have anything you would like to, just slide that mic over.
Well, the freshmen started yesterday, and freshman day went off like without a hitch. We had over 50 volunteers come in, like upperclassmen come and help, which is like a huge turnout. So that was really good, and it was nice to see everyone helping out. Then everyone came back today, and it was good. Everything's looking good, but it's only been the first day, so
I know.
it's kind of hard to tell.
I know. Well, that's what I figured. Are we going to do our lunches again this year?
Yeah, the student council should be reaching out very soon.
Okay.
We haven't met yet, actually, so
I know. You've only been in school a day.
yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay, I think that's it, unless somebody has a committee that we're not, okay, great. So we'll move on to board roundtable, and we'll start with you, Jen.
Nothing for me?
Okay, nothing from me. Kate?
Well, I enjoyed opening day. I thought it was really well done. There was a lot of enthusiasm in the auditorium. I was really pleased with the gifts. They've changed from the pen and pencil sets to something a little more appropriate, I felt. It was lovely. But I think also we do a really nice job of welcoming our new staff, and given the fact that we had 50, they each got a big canvas tote with RSU 14 on the front of it, and it was just nice to have the whole staff see who the new staff are, and it kind of felt welcoming. It felt more than welcoming. So kudos, Mr. Prince. I thought it was a nice launch to the school year.
Pete?
All right, I'll just take this opportunity to do a little PSA. School's back in session, as we all know, and so with that, that means there's a lot of kids walking to and from the bus stops. So we've all been in summer driving mode, so it's just important to remember that there are kids out there. It's staying darker later into the morning, and some of these kids get on the bus pretty early, so just slow down, be aware there's kids around, be aware that there's buses back on the roads that are going to be making frequent stops.
Terry? All set. Sierra, do you have anything just aside from that first day thing?
You really wanted to say something, don't you?
I know, poor Sierra. I just wanted to say that the Summer Jumpstart program, that Christine always tells us about, this wonderful program, I have to tell you how great this program is, only because my grandson went to it this summer. And it is like, I think, other than all-day kindergarten, I'm talking about small people now, it is one of the best things we could have ever encouraged and endorsed. Before he went there, you could not interest him in, sit down, I want to read your book, or anything at all. And if they were, even though we put PBS on, For him, it was entertainment, it was not educational, et cetera. Well, you could see the progression from the time he started, and it wasn't that many weeks. That by the time he got to the end, I'm telling you, he watches those same programs, and he spells the words, and he says the words. He spells everything he tells you. You know, I said, you want to go out there? And he says, Y-E-S. And, but it's just unbelievable, and that's just kind of one sample. And I can only talk because of my own personal experience, but it really has a major impact, and I will be very, very excited when Christine, and I think it's another year or two before she's going to get back to us, but when they've been there enough times to have some kind of a tracking program of how well these students have, done at the elementary schools they've gone to. So again, it's a wonderful program, and I think it's great. And yes, an opening day was like, that was a happy crowd. That really was, and it went off. You guys do a great job. And again, and I definitely share Kate's, thank you very much for changing those gifts, because those were really nice gifts for people who had put all the years in. And in fact, there was one gentleman there, what was his, how many?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Bus
what was
driver,
his?
right?
Dudley.
45 years.
45 years.
You get a chair.
Yes, but there's quite a few, employees that have been there quite a while. Okay, and I think that is all I have. So, again, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Say that fast enough.
All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.